Yeah, g'day everyone. This is Nick from Electric Wheels Australia, aka Perth Electric Scooter Repairs. And what I've got before me is a Vsett 9 Plus, I think it is, motor, a rear motor, which I'd worked on. Now, what I had to do with this one originally was to replace the hall sensor that is in the middle there, that the blue wire you see there connects to, and that shorted out. Not shorted out, but it faulted twice. I replaced it originally, the original, which had faulted, and that one also faulted, and then the third one is fine. So that's what's in there now, is the third one. So anyway, thinking I'd done a great, awesome job, reassembled the motor, but in the process, what I found after the customer had complained that his motor's playing up again, I'm thinking that it must be a little bit of FOD, foreign object, and there was a tiny little piece of magnetic material in here. It was as small as a ballpoint pen bearing. It's tiny as anything. You can hardly see it. But I removed it, and then seen in here is a little bit corroded around the edges. There is a waxy coating on these things, I presume to reduce the likelihood of rust occurring. But as you can see here, that little reddishness, that's the rust on the edging there. So anyway, when the owner originally got the scooter back, after fixed it all, he rode for about 20 kilometers and then it started playing up again. So I have pulled this motor apart to try and work out what the problem was. As I said, I thought it might have been a little bit of debris in there, a bit of metal stuff that's getting jammed up. But I looked at the surface of the motor there, of the stator, and it looked fine. There was no scoring, no nothing at all. So the next thing I checked was to see if I could see any burnt out copper wires. The lacquer had burnt out, to suggest it might be a problem. But what was happening is that when I was rotating, I was disconnecting the motor from the controller, and I get this grinding feel about it for quite some time, and then eventually it sort of like disappeared. Why, I don't know, and even after finding out the problem, I still don't know why. So what I have found is that if you notice here that these pieces of insulation here are inside there, I'll just zoom in. Yep, there. These are the main cables from the controller. It's the blue one, the green, and the yellow around the corner there. And then I had to remove the original cable that's coming out here because it got damaged at this point here. So I replaced that cable. And in the case of the Vsetts, they don't have this kind of connector like the Zeros do. So I put one of those on. So it was easy to disconnect, which is fantastic decision on my behalf. But if you can see the problem, yep, right there, a bit of metal. And you notice that little mark there, okay, a rub mark, and it's gone down to bare metal. That told me straight away this is sitting up either too prime or sitting in too close to the axle. And then I looked around the other side, and lo and behold, the same problem here. And it was a curve as well, and that straight away told me it was touching this bearing housing here, right on the edge. So what was happening as the motor turned, both the, which is at the green, that's the green wire, and the yellow wire were shorting out to each other. and therefore there was a problem with the motor. Now, it yet by reassembling the motor. I'm not going to do that, of course, until I sort this out, which will be moving this cable here and that one there further away from the center. There's plenty of room in here, in the guts of it. As you see there's tons of room for that to be a little bit more prone away from the coils, from the motor. So they'll be fine. But that was a surprise to me to see that. But I'm glad that I saw it in the end. And I'll just shift them out of the way. I will put it, remove the heat shrink and reheat shrink it on both of those. The cable ties were loose as well. I noticed that they were a little bit loose, and that was quite interesting. I thought, oh, why are they quite loose? And then when I rotated this and then had a look at it, I was looking for rub marks. I couldn't see any rub marks here because it is quite close to the edge here. But there's no rub marks on it, so that excluded that one there. But when I rotated this cable tie here, that's when I noticed that right there. So be aware, if you're going to repair your motor, okay, replace the main cable going through, and don't think that, and don't hesitate to consider if you've got a Vsett like this one, the Vsett 9 or 9, yeah, that you put one of these in, okay. But you have to be really careful the one that you choose, because this one is different. The pins on this are different to in actual fact practically every other cable that I've purchased. Why, I don't know, but what I've done is I've ensured that the hall sensor wires, which is critical here, that the hall sensor wires, what's that little bit of stuff there, correlate. So the yellow goes to the yellow in the main cable, which that is connected to into the controller, and also the blue and the green also go to the blue and green in the main cable, goes from here to the controller. And then at the controller end you've got your connector, the white connector, the 6-plug connector, which then goes to the hall sensor wires on the controller. So let me just, I won't show you that. If you don't know what a hall sensor and all the connector I'm talking about, then you'll need to watch my other videos. So what I'll do is I'll just move this up out of the way, remove the cable tie, remove the heat shrink, reheat shrink it, and then cable tie it well away from the axle so it doesn't touch the bearing housing there. So yeah, that's good news. I'm really happy about that. I'm not happy that it happened, of course, but I'm happy that I found the problem. So hopefully I won't see this scooter again for a long time. And if you've got any questions regarding the repair of a motor and what to look out for, watch this video. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching. If there are, as I said, if there are any questions you've got, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I will try to assist the best I can. Bye for now.